Coming just a week after Simmer, Leave It Alone is the latest single from the now apparently prolific Hayley Williams. Maybe she knew I was reviewing these and decided to thank me by dropping a new song. I wish. Simmer was released on the 22nd of January, with Leave It Alone being released on the 30th of January 2020. We now know that both the songs are off the debut EP Petals for Armour Part 1, which is scheduled to be released on February 6th, 2020 on Atlantic Records. So you could expect a review of that too, if I can get my button gear, that is. The XX vibes continue on Leave It Alone. It's understated, quiet, not as punchy as Simmer, not as catchy, and in my opinion, a worse song. I know I should be evaluating this song on its own basis, as opposed to comparing it to the only other song that Hayley has released. But of course, with such limited solo material to compare it to, it sort of makes sense. I feel that Leave It Alone doesn't do anything nearly as daring artistically as Simmer does. It's a good song, a competent song, but it doesn't wow me. Maybe my biases are showing here. I tend to like it when songs are in my face, when they are passionate, and have something to say. That is, of course, not to say that this song doesn't have anything to say. But musically, it doesn't grab me as much as Simmer did. Maybe that's a failing of me, and I'm ready to accept that. Maybe I have a short attention span musically, and need the comparatively flashing lights and gimmicks that Simmer presented. I would imagine that the sparseness that I describe, and the lack of a punch that I find in the song, is of course designed. By dropping Simmer and Leave It Alone so close together could mean that they're meant to be compared and contrasted in this way, allowing you to focus on the music more for Simmer and the lyrics more for Leave It Alone. The lyrics are indeed what stand out most in the song and where most of the impact can be felt. Lines like, "Becoming friends with the noose that I made, and I keep on trying to untie it," reference suicidal thoughts, with lines like, "You don't remember my name some days," or that we're related, reference a recent fall that her grandmother had, and how that affected her grandmother's memory. The slow pace of the song allows you to sit with these thoughts, perhaps longer than you normally would, and just long enough that they become slightly uncomfortable. The little flourish of the bass at the end of each line gives you the space to sit with the final few words and really digest what they mean. Both of these topics are covered in depth in an interview with Zane Lowe on Beats One Radio, and I'll link that in the description. It's a long one, but I think it's absolutely worth it, and is a great insight into Hayley's mind and the thought processes, and it reveals a lot about the inspiration for the music she's now making. As a former bass player, I appreciate that a lot of the song, as far as my untrained ears can tell, is structured around a bass guitar. One of my favourite things about Paramore was that they're one of the few bands that I listened to at the time where I could actually hear the bass being played. This might be what led me to picking up a bass guitar in the first place. That, or thinking Sid Vicious looked cool as hell, or that the band I was in needed a bass player. But Paramore certainly helped. The strings in the song remind me almost of a western. They're used far more sparingly than what would be used in a western, of course, but the same sort of tone is there. There's also a sort of whining quality to them, perhaps encoding that sense of pain and struggle that the song is trying to evoke. The strings are swelling, pushing forward in the mix after the chorus before dropping back out again as the verse begins. Like I said, I prefer Simmer as a song, and hope that it's more of the direction that this new music goes in. But if more of it ends up being like Leave It Alone, maybe that will make me a better listener of music. This was a review show. I think your experience will be enhanced by hearing in full the song featured in the show, which you can get hold of from your favourite music shop or online platform. Please support artists by buying their music or using services that guarantee artists a revenue. This episode was written and produced by me, Stephen Lemontree. Our outro music is Simplicity by Macroform Music. If you ever want to contact us, you can do so on Instagram and Twitter at nevetslt. or email nevetslt@gmail.com. Life is walking home in the rain and not worrying about getting wet. We'll see you next week.